Here to weigh in on the high-stakes debate, Steve Hayes, Weekly Standard senior writer and a Fox News contributor. So, Steve, I had to sort of chuckle last week on Friday and on Saturday morning. The Hillary Clinton camp had been saying, well, she's losing ground everywhere except for in the states that really count, and that's Pennsylvania and Colorado, and she's still way ahead in the two of those, and those are her firewall. And lo and behold, new polls come out this morning from CNN showing that he's closing the gap or pulling ahead in those. What do you make of that?
Yeah, look, it's a pretty significant development. She's losing ground everywhere in virtually all of the battleground states and has been for the past 3 weeks. What makes Colorado most interesting is you remember the Clinton campaign and the super PACs that are supporting her candidacy pulled their ads and much of their effort, it must be said, in Colorado a couple months ago on the assumption that she was in the clear, that she really didn't need to compete there. Donald Trump wasn't doing much to compete there, and that she effectively had Colorado won. Well, obviously now the Clinton campaign is contemplating going back up on the air with ads in Colorado, and no doubt will have to juice up its get out the vote operation there in order to be competitive.
So can you do that? I mean, can you flip the switch back on? Because at the time when they said that too, I was sort of wondering how much of that was gamesmanship. You know, were they just saying that they were pulling back in terms of their offices, or were they really doing it? So first of all, do you buy that they really stepped back, and can they turn the switch back on if they did?
Well, it's a great point. I think they did step back in terms of what ad buys they were planning to do, but I think you're right. There was some amount of gamesmanship there. They have a ground operation there, and I think one of the things we can say for sure, on November 8th, the Clinton ground operation is going to be leagues better than the Trump ground operation. He hasn't built one, or built much of one. What he's using is largely leftover from the RNC, which has a ground operation, but nothing like the Obama ground campaign that was used so effectively in 2008 and 2012, which Hillary Clinton has, in effect, inherited. I mean, they have an incredible operation. I think that gives her, you know, some people will tell you a point or two advantage.
So let me challenge that. Let me challenge that as well, because I've said that to Reince Priebus and others and to people in the RNC, and they say actually the truth is that she did inherit that from President Obama, but that they opened the offices and there's not much else behind that, beyond that, because she doesn't have the same level of enthusiasm. So even though they appear to have the get out the vote infrastructure, they don't have the actual volunteers and the people that are going out and doing it, and it isn't as impressive as they make it out to be because they just don't have the people who want to come in and volunteer. Is that possible?
Well, it is. I mean, look, you'd expect Reince to say that, right? I mean, he's paid to say things like that. So
I think it was actually Sean
doubt
Spicer. I have to be careful. That's who it was, but still,
yeah, you'd expect the RNC to say that, and I think they're half right. I think that in terms of her enthusiasm, there isn't the kind of enthusiasm that there was for Barack Obama. You saw that particularly in 2008 and then again in 2012, and the turnout machine worked in part because of that sort of ground level enthusiasm. Hillary Clinton lacks that. The machine, though, the infrastructure is still there. The question is whether they'll be able to generate the kind of enthusiasm. I don't think anybody anticipates that they'll be able to match the enthusiasm for President Obama among the Democratic base. But one of the difficult challenges she faces here tonight and for the rest of the campaign is continuing to keep that Obama coalition together while at the same time reaching out to disaffected white male Democrats, suburban moms, the kind of people she's going to need to win in places like Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, etc.
Steve, thank you so much. You have a front row seat. I'm so jealous, although I'm making a special chili tonight. We're going to be on the couch watching something very excited. I know, I'm sorry.
I'll be in the city tomorrow.
There you go. All right, I'll bring you a little extra. Thank you.